Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Hillary, and in this vlog we are going to be moving. We aren't going very far. We're staying in the same building, but we are moving to a much bigger place, so it is a very, very good thing. But we still had to pack everything up and hire some movers to help us move. In addition to everything that we had in our current place, I also had a U-Pod, or a little storage unit, from when I lived in Chicago. So I have things that have been in storage for the last 3 years that have not been in this place. We've got quite a bit of stuff going into the new location. We feel pretty confident that we are going to have enough space for all of the things. And it will be very interesting to see what I find from essentially a time capsule from 2023 when I packed those boxes. I figured I could provide you with some reading updates while I'm sharing some of these clips from packing and the way things looked when we were all packed up, and then the next morning when we took Roscoe into the new place for the first time and let him explore. So just enjoy these clips. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you some of my reading updates. In my last video, I believe I was about halfway through with The Will of the Many, which we read for a book club. I thought it was okay. I wasn't blown away by it and probably won't be continuing the series. It was very long. It had a lot of different plot points, most of which were not resolved by the end of the first book. It was really hard to track just everything that was going on. There was so much going on to try to track. It was a little overwhelming. I didn't really like the main character very much, and we are only in his POV for all of the books. So it was a little much for me, and I probably will not continue the series. So right here in these clips, you're seeing my U-Box get dropped off. And then we took all of our plants to the new unit because we were, afraid of them getting broken. So we carried them up all ourselves. This is Roscoe, his first time in the new unit. And he literally explored every single corner, nook, cranny, everything. He was a little unsure of the stairs at first, but rest assured he got used to them very quickly and is very confident on the stairs now. Maybe too confident. It scares me sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. He is loving all of the sunlight that we get in our new space. We have so many windows. He loves playing on the stairs. He loves how much room he has to just run around. It's been great so far. After I read The Will of the Many, I moved on to Red City. I really liked this one. Now, this is very dark, gritty, pretty devastating. I did read this for a book club, and one of the discussion questions was, what was the most devastating scene in your opinion? And there were at least 10 different answers that people had. There were so many devastating scenes, but it was really gripping, and I found myself just really fascinated and looking forward to picking the book back up every time that I had time to read more. It has been quite entertaining seeing Roscoe in the new place, and within the first day, him finding all of the precarious spaces he could get stuck in or hide in. He found out how to get on top of the cabinetry into the little space between the ceiling and the cabinets. The first night in the place, after doing so much unpacking all day, we were exhausted. I decided to take the first bath in my new bathtub, and he was playing in the water, and then of course left footprints everywhere afterwards. Yeah, so he is being quite mischievous, but of course it's also cute. After Red City, I was able to read a few books for the Trans Rights Readathon. I'm really excited that I got to read more than just A Gentleman's Gentleman. I actually ended up reading 3 more books with trans representation. The first one was Make Room for Love by Darcy, Liao, and this one was very sweet. It was very romantic. It was about 2 trans women who become roommates in, I believe it was New York City. Really, it was a very slow build of them just getting to know each other, learning how to support each other, learning each other's backstories, and then realizing that they were attracted to each other. One of the characters had never dated a woman before, and so that was a new experience and kind of navigating what that meant to them. Yeah, this was very sweet, very meaningful, very romantic. While I was building this giant cat tree, which we got specifically for this corner because Roscoe loves to watch when the birds fly past our windows every night a little bit before sunset. So he'll be able to sit up on this cat tree and just watch the birds fly by every night. But while I was building this cat tree, I read What Moves the Dead by Kingfisher. This is a little novella. It is creepy and grotesque. It's about fungi, but I actually really enjoyed this little story. A traveling soldier was going to visit a friend who was sick, terminally ill, and while there, trying to figure out what is his friend actually ill from, because things are a little bit odd. It turns out to be a bit of a mystery. The next one that I got to read is Queen of Faces. This is a new release. This is a YA fantasy, and the synopsis says that this is a fantasy world where people swap designer bodies like clothes. And I was really curious to find out what that meant because it was so intriguing, and this was really interesting. I have to say this was not like a lot of things that I have read before. In terms of the magic system and the fantasy, you know, it might not have been the most unique thing I've ever read, but what was really unique about it is this concept of they just really needed the body to function. Like their soul was acting completely independently of these bodies. And so we had characters who started out in one body in the beginning of the book and then were in a different body for other parts of the book. And so that was really interesting. And I thought the audiobook was fantastic because it helped that they had different narrators. So you could associate the voice rather than the character's name, because when they would be in a different body, they would be referred to as a different name. This did make very interesting points about one's identity and who you identify as versus who you present as physically, and when those two things don't align, what that experience is like, and the types of emotional and physical impacts that can have on a person. And so I thought that was really cool. The last reading update that I have for you is that I read The Right Move, which is the second book in the Windy City series. This is for an April book club where we are going to an NBA game for Fourth Wing night. Since we're going as our book club, we decided to pick a basketball romance to read in advance. Normally, this book club reads fantasy. You know, doing just contemporary romance is a really fun switch every once in a while. But yeah, that is all of my reading updates. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed at least seeing little glimpses of what the moving process has been like. I have been pretty focused on just trying to unpack and get things where they are. I have not been picking up the camera a ton, but I am going to be setting up my bookshelves relatively soon, so I will definitely bring out the camera and bring you along for that. If I end up doing anything else exciting, like setting up my craft area, I will try to bring you along. But again, we've just been trying to get things unpacked. At this point, there's a lot of stuff still just out and about that doesn't really have a home yet. And so just trying to figure out where everything is going to go and get that organized and put away so that we can just start enjoying this new beautiful place. Thank you so much for stopping by this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, whatever time it is that you're watching this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.